Episode of Road to the World Series. Today we finish off the fourth and final game of this Los Angeles Dodgers series from Wrigley. This was just a quick homestand here real quick, and then we're heading back out onto the road going to St. Louis after this game here. But we're looking to try and get a split today. We lost the last two games of the series, but we did win the first one against Clayton Kershaw. But the last two games we just have not, honestly this whole series we have not been able to hit the ball. We've scored a combined 4 runs. It's just been a really tough road, but a good pitching staff for the Dodgers. And they've really been holding us down here. But today we're going to have Brandon McCarthy facing off against C.J. Edwards. Edwards has been a decent fill-in so far this year for, I guess he would be filling in for, I would say he's filling in for Jason Hammel. I brought him up after Tsuyoshi Wada's injury. And then Kyle Hendricks has been filling in for Jason Hammel, who has been on the DL. But as you can see, he should be coming back within the next couple days here. He's got 3 more days left on the DL. And he's been with the estimated injury time of 1 to 6 days for the past 6 days. So my thinking is he should probably be back from that fractured hand relatively soon, and we could use some bullpen help. And then sometime in July, I think July 31st, we're going to be adding Dan Herron to the mix as well. Cubs made that trade yesterday to pick up Dan Herron from the Marlins and get a 5th starter in the rotation. So we just need to stay afloat till some of these guys start coming back, and we need to start playing better. Basically, that's what it really comes down to. We need to start playing better, hitting better, everything, you know. But let's go ahead and get into this ball game here. CJ always pitches better when he wears the blue jerseys. I don't know why, but that's just kind of how it goes with him. Not quite all the way up at full stamina, but going to get Starlin Castro the day off. He's getting a little tired there. Even Addison Russell might even need a day off. But we're going to have Jonathan Herrera playing second base today, but he is not going to be hitting 5th. I can tell you that right now. We're going to move Herrera down to the 9 hole and then move Addison up to the 2 hole. And I'm gonna go ahead and drop Kris Bryant in the order because he has been struggling so mightily lately. Only 3 hits, and I think his last 10 ball games. So he's really hit a cold streak. Not hitting the ball hard, not really doing anything well besides fielding. That's been a plus. At least he hasn't been hurting us in the field. But I am going to go ahead and get Schwarber a start in left field today with the Miguel Montero coming back. The catcher spot is again occupied, but I decided to keep Schwarber up here because he had been doing well, just not lately. But hopefully he too can get out of his slump. Jonathan Herrera really needs to get out of his slump. He's not even batting 100 at this point. But go ahead and get into this ball game here. Me and King Rouse is going to be trying something new here. We're going to kind of we're going to do our play-by-plays, and then hopefully at some point here we can do a dual play-by-play. One of us doing color and one of us doing play-by-play. But we'll see. He's occupied currently. He's at work. But let's go ahead and get into this ball game here now. You can see the lineup there. That's the lineup we're going out there with today. Dexter Fowler, Addison Russell, Anthony Rizzo, Jorge Soler, Kris Bryant, Miguel Montero, Kyle Schwarber, Joe Maddon's pitcher hitting 8th, C.J. Edwards, and then batting in the 9 hole, Jonathan Herrera, who really needs to pick up his game. And you see Carl Crawford, Justin Turner, Yasiel Puig, Adrian Gonzalez, Andre Ethier, Yasmani Grandal, Jimmy Rollins, Alberto Calespo, and Brandon McCarthy, the pitcher, hitting 9th in that order there. Just counting down the minutes here to this ball game. You see Carl Crawford and Jimmy Rollins sitting there talking with Justin Turner before the ball game. Checking out bats. You seeing, man, you need to hit it right here. But beautiful Wrigley Field here today on a beautiful June day in Chicago. You got the first place Dodgers 46-27 facing off against your Chicago Cubs 33-41. 8 games below 500 at this point. Really in need of a win and kind of a bounce back. The Cubs started off the month with a great stretch there. They won 5 in a row, 2 against the Marlins and 3 against the Nationals, but have just fallen off the table since then. They were sitting there on the cusp of 500 just at the beginning of this month. And as you see, you get a little series recap here. You had Neil Ramirez winning the first game for the Cubbies, Greinke winning the second game, and Hyun-Jin Ryu surprisingly did very well against the Cubs and shut them down. That little picture of Don Mattingly there, and you get to look at the lineup. You got Crawford in the playing left, batting first. Third base, Justin Turner. Yasiel Puig batting third. Adrian Gonzalez batting fourth, and it kind of went a little bit too fast for me. And then you get to look at the stats there for C.J. Edwards, 3-3 on the season with a 3.48 ERA, allowed 38 hits, only 13 walks, 38 strikeouts over those 54 innings in this his 11th start of the season. Looking good and always pitching well when he's wearing the blue jersey. Like I said before, I don't know why. Every time he wears a different jersey, he just he takes a crap. But definitely needing a win here, get his club back in this in it a little bit, you know, kind of get them on just streaking again. I mean, it's just been awful the last few games. They just haven't been able to get the offense going. The pitching has been there. You know, you had two quality starts in a row, and then John Lester gave up 4 runs over 7 1/3 yesterday's ball game. So it's been the pitching, like I said, been very good. Starting pitching good, offense bad, and then the bullpen not coming up with anything down the stretch either, pitching poorly and giving up extra runs later on in the game. Then you get a look at the Cubs lineup there. You have Schwarber, Fowler, and Soler left to right in the outfield, and then Bryant, Russell, Herrera, and Rizzo around the horn, and then Montero behind the dish, and C.J. Edwards on the bump here, and looks like we're ready to go here from Wrigley Field. Carl Crawford leading the ball game off for the Dodgers, the 265 average, not address, and Edwards is ready to go, and the first pitch popped up, and that's going to be caught by Chris Bryant as Carl Crawford is retired on the very first pitch of the ball game. Not the at-bat he was hoping for there. Really not taking anything. It was a bad pitch. He just got up and under it, and Bryant was able to coast under it real quick and get it out on the very first pitch of the game. Next up for the Dodgers is Justin Turner. He's playing third base today, having a decent season, but he's been a little bit cold as of late. Edwards misses with his first pitch, curveball. 1-0 now on Turner. The Cubs, though, have been really struggling over the past few games, and they really need a decent start from C.J. Edwards. Curveball misses off the corner there. Not the best curveball there, but had enough break to it. Although it's a good thing he didn't hang that. If he hangs that ball might be gone. Justin Turner can hurt you with the long ball. Edwards with 2-0 pitch. Grounder right to Rizzo. Rizzo's going to step on the bag. We got 2 outs. 2 outs and 4 pitches for the Cubs in this first inning. So again, starting off with a good pitching performance. But, you know, if there's no offense behind that pitching performance, it's a punchless pitching performance. You got Yasiel Puig now up at the plate batting 301. 4 for 10 in this series, so he's had a decent series here for the Dodgers, and he's going to hope to finish off this 4-game set strong. This is their guy. This is the future of the Dodgers right here. He's been a good ball player, but he's going to go ahead and take that first one for ball 1. C.J. Edwards ready to go again, and grooves the fastball right on middle out on the plate. Bell tie for strike 1. It's now 1-1. The rookie has been good this year, and to top it all off, I know I've said this many times before, but it was great to see him pitch a no-hitter against the Kansas City Royals. And that actually started our good stretch there. We ended up, in that stretch of games, we won 7 of 10. And it has just been all downhill from there. Yeah, he's been good. He's had a couple rough starts, but he's a rookie, and that's what's going to happen. He's going to miss outside there with ball 3, though, to Yasiel Puig. You really don't want to walk Yasiel Puig, though, because you do have danger lurking behind him in the form of Adrian Gonzalez. It's not a guy you want to pitch to, although he's been fairly punchless throughout this series. as Yasiel Puig fouls that ball away to bring it to a full count here.
Bases are empty here with 2 men out.
Bases empty, 2 outs. The 3-2 pitch from Edwards. Puig back up the middle, almost took out Edwards there. And it's brought back in as Yasiel Puig reaches first with a base hit. The first hit of the game for the Dodgers. No, it's not really that exciting because it is only the first inning. Went right between the legs of C.J. Edwards, but he got a good piece of that. He put a changeup right over the middle there, and he just put it right out in the outfield. A good pitch set and deliver from Edwards. Outside, ball 1 on that one, although that one looked like a decent pitch. That's been one problem the Cubs have really had this series, has been, honestly, with their pitching, has been the umpiring. Calls just not being made, and you know that hurts the confidence a little bit there. But there's a good pitch down and in on the off the inside corner on Adrian Gonzalez. It's 1-1 now, evens it up. Yasiel Puig still sitting on first base, but they do have 2 outs, so any out will do here for the Cubbies. And C.J. Edwards ready, and the pitch misses down and away. Ball 2, as trying to get out of this inning. Looked like he was going to be a quick inning, and then had that long at the bat with Yasiel Puig, and now has gone 2-1 on Adrian Gonzalez. Gonzalez strokes that one foul and out of play down the right side. Now he's down to his last strike in this at bat, 2-2. And the pitch from Edwards. Breaking ball, strike 3. He'll grab some bench. And that'll do it for the Dodgers here in the first. No runs, 1 hit by Puig, and no errors in that inning for the Cubs. We move to the bottom of the first. Cubs coming up with a chance to take some control. But they will be facing a tough opponent, Brandon McCarthy, who's had a good run this year so far. You get to look at the lineup for the Cubs. Fowler, Russell, Rizzo, Soler, Bryant, Montero, Schwarber, Edwards, and batting 9th, Herrera in the 9-hole. And then you get a look at Brandon McCarthy's stats there. He's 6-1 this year, so he's had a good season with a 3.05 ERA over 85 in the 2/3 innings, 81 hits allowed with 13 walks and 39 strikeouts. Having a decent first half, and a little bit of talk about him making the All-Star team for the Dodgers. But you get a look at the lineup real quick. You've got Crawford, Ethier, Puig left to right in the outfield, Turner, Rollins. Don't remember who the second baseman was. Oh, Kendrick, I'm assuming. Or maybe, no, it's Calespo. Calespo's playing second, and then Gonzalez playing first, and then Grandal behind the dish, and McCarthy on the bump. You got Fowler leading off here. Been pretty even against lefties, righties. That looks like a pretty standard stat line there for a switch hitter. Doesn't really get affected too much by switching sides of the plates against lefties and righties. And here's the first pitch from McCarthy. Curveball catches the inside corner for strike 1. A nice pitch right there. McCarthy starting off the at-bat with a nice curveball. That's kind of, Fowler's just been kind of up and down this year, having good streaks, bad streaks, but hasn't really found a way to put it all together. The cutter there misses outside for ball 1. But the offense here needs to start with Dexter Fowler. Usually as Fowler goes, the Cubs kind of go, and that's how it's been. The Cubs, he's been struggling a lot this year, and the Cubs have just been really lackluster as Fowler fouls one away. Fowler foul. And it's now 1-2 there on Fowler. McCarthy ready to pitch, and the pitch from McCarthy. Ground ball is going to squeak past Jimmy Rollins into the outfield for a base hit. And the Cubs are in business now with the leadoff man on. Dexter Fowler having a good season on the base paths as well. I think he has 14 stolen bases so far this year. So that would be really nice if he could get a stolen base here. Or at least Addison Russell can move him over to get the Cubs the lead in this first inning and get C.J. Edwards a little bit of a lead to work with when he comes back out onto the mound. McCarthy in the stretch, ready. And the pitch from McCarthy. Nice cutter right over the middle of the plate there for strike 1. 0-1 now on Addison Russell. Getting ready, taking his hat off. Probably a little steamy out there today. And Fowler gets his lead.
He's ready. Now
And he's going.
on the move now is
Strike
Fowler.
two.
Pitches a
But
ball
Fowler
to
takes
throw.
second base on a nice stolen base there, as you get a look at the stolen base leaders in the league. The Cubs third in the National League with 39, but well behind the Giants and Brewers, who have 40, 54, and 51 respectively. But they are ahead of the Dodgers in the stolen base department.
A runner at
But
second,
now it is
nobody
0-2 on Addison Russell. It's time for him to protect. McCarthy takes a look at Fowler and the pitch from McCarthy.
And this might
Tapper to the right
advance
side.
the
Nice
runner
job
on
advancing the
second.
runner. And the Cubs got a runner on third with only one out. And you know who coming up. Big Anthony Rizzo coming up to the plate after that nice play by Addison Russell to just tap that to the right side to Cayespo. It is a 4-3 put out, but only one out, and Anthony Rizzo coming up to the plate. I will say this right now, Anthony Rizzo has not homered at Wrigley this year, which is kind of a rare thing. Rizzo slaps one to the left side past Jimmy Rollins, and the Cubs in Chicago, as now they lead 1-0 on the Anthony Rizzo RBI single. Fowler came home to score, but it's good to get on the board first. Usually when the Cubs score first here, they tend to hold on to the lead and, for the most part, generally win the ball game. But now we got Jorge Soler coming up. He had the only run in yesterday's ball game. I believe it was the only run. He did hit a home run to right field that cleared the wall by about a couple rows. Soler grounds it right. Oh, and Rollins bobbles it. Nothing. And the Soler reaches. All hands are safe as Jimmy Rollins takes one off the heel of the glove on the Soler ground ball, and he looks like he just misjudged it. He was kind of doing an Olay move there, and that's what my baseball coach used to say. He used to call it an Olay move. He's sitting there not getting in front of the ball, and that cost them an out. And now the Cubs are in business here with one out, and that was a pitch that Bryant probably could have clobbered, but he, as he's been cold lately, has not been hitting the ball well. But he's down 0-1 now, but the Cubs really need to take advantage of that mistake by Jimmy Rollins. And it's fouled away now by Bryant. Looked like another curveball there. Bryant now in the hole, 0-2, and the pitch from McCarthy. Fouled away. Probably shouldn't have swung at that. That was a ball. But he's fighting off pitches, trying to stay alive, trying to work himself out of the slump that he has been in for the past 10 games. The pitch from McCarthy. Curveball gets away, but nobody is going to go anywhere. Nice stop there by Yasmani Grandal as he kept the ball in front of him and stopped the runners from advancing on the play. Of course, you don't have the fastest runners in the world out there with Anthony Rizzo and Jorge Soler, as Chris Bryant swings and misses on another curveball to strike out for out number 2 in this ball game. Nice curveball there from Brandon McCarthy. Put it right in the dirt, and Chris Bryant had no chance at it. Just kind of how his year has been going so far. Now Miguel Montero at the plate, his first at bat in I believe 3 weeks since his head contusion. And it's a base hit to the, that's gonna go all the way to the wall. And that's probably going to score too. Here comes Soler rounding third. Montero pulls into second, and the Cubs lead 3-0 on the Dodgers. What a great at-bat there from Miguel Montero, who has his first hit and his first at-bat and his first start since coming off the DL with that head contusion. And now coming up next to the plate is the always dangerous Kyle Schwarber, who has proven to be dangerous all season long, although he has been struggling for the past 4 games, as you see there. 2 for 14 in his last 4 ball games with a 143 average, and he too has not been hitting the ball hard. He's been having problems like Chris Bryant. But that double makes it Miguel Montero's 10th of the year. It scored 2 runs. Welcome back, Miggy. Oh, and base hit, line drive right off the plant leg of McCarthy, and they can't get Schwarber at first. And they're probably going to come out and check McCarthy on that play, as it was lined right off of his drive leg. I thought it might have been his plant leg, but it was his drive leg. And they're going to have to come out and check him, because that was a hard liner there. And it doesn't look like they're going to come out and check him, though. surprising. That was a line drive right off his shin. That looked like that would hurt. I've seen that happen before, and that is not a pretty sight. Generally, a pitcher after that leaves the ball game, but he's going to stay in, and honestly, I'd like to see him stay in the way we've been hitting him. But now we got the pitcher up at the plate, C.J. Edwards, batting 154 this season. Cubs already up 3-0 with a runners on first and third. Foul away by Edwards there, and it's 0-1. It's been an active first inning here in Chicago. The Cubs offense coming alive, and something they really needed after struggling this whole series, and that's a base hit. C.J. Edwards lines one through the shortstop third base hole, or as Tony Gwynn would call it, the 5.5 hole, as he helps his own cause, scoring Montero, and now runners on first and second with 2 outs. The Cubs now up 4-0, getting off to one heck of a start, but here comes Jonathan Herrera, who is 0 for 7 this series, and just having a dreadful season thus far, batting under 100, his batting average 70 cents. And he's going to go ahead and pop that up to center field. And it's going to be gotten under by Ethier, and that can of corn is caught by Ethier, but the Cubs do some real damage this inning, putting up 4 and spotting C.J. Edwards one heck of a lead. 4 runs, 5 hits, 1 error for the Dodgers in that inning. And the Cubs now rolling. C.J. Edwards looking good so far. Let's see if he can keep this. If he can get a quality start out of this, he'll put the Cubs in great position to win their 35th ball game or 34th ball game of the season. The first pitch, the Ethier foul the way down the line. Got a good piece of that one. But like I said, it was foul. Ethier hitting pretty well, so at least so far this series. He's having a decent year, but not starting. They got a kind of a log jam out in the outfield there. And Tapper to Edwards, and Edwards is going to go ahead and throw out Ethier for the first out of the inning. And looking good so far. Can't complain about the outing that the Cubs can't complain about the outing that C.J. Edwards has given them. Usually when they spot him a lead like that, he usually keeps it. And although the last time out they had a lead against the Twins, and he started choking in the 6th inning. As he took a perfect game in that one into the 6th inning, but couldn't complete it or even get out of that game with a decision, as he was up when he left the ball game. You got Money Grandal at the plate, batting under 200 at this point in the season. So he's having a tough season, but that pitch misses inside, 2-0. The Cubbies needing CJ to keep that ball around the plate, at least get guys to swing and miss at it. The 2-0 pitch from Edwards to Grandal. Missing outside, 3-0 now with Jimmy Rollins on deck. You don't want to put a guy on with Jimmy Rollins. Jimmy Rollins made the Cubs pay yesterday as he lined one into the gap for a 2-run double, and that pretty much finished off the Cubs. As you see Edwards get it over strike there, 3-1 now on Grandal. Grandal needing to get something going here for the Dodgers to answer the Cubs, who put up 4 in the first. The 3-1 pitch at the knees for strike 2, and it's now full. Edwards battling back in this at bat here nicely, showing some resilience, which is good to see from a rookie, as they're hoping that he could be the future of this ball club. Grandal hits a high drive to right field, but that one is not going to carry. Jorge Soler drifts under it, makes the catch, and there's 2 outs here in the top of the 2nd. Looking good so far for Edwards, although the Cubs are in need of him to go at least 6 innings here, as the bullpen has just been used and abused over this 20-game stretch that they've had. They have not had a day off in 17 days. And you see Jimmy Rollins coming up to the plate there, batting 7 for 21 over his 6-game hit streak that he has. And Edwards is hoping to end that today. The first pitch from Edwards down and about the shins there for the first ball of the at-bat there. 1-0 on Rollins.
2 out, nobody on.
There's 2 outs, nobody on base right now. The pitch from Edwards. Changeup threw that one a little high there. That was asking for a little bit of trouble. but didn't get a swing from Rollins on that, luckily. Rollins probably could have done something bad with that ball. The 1-1 pitch misses inside with the changeup. That changeup is a fast one, too, at 88 miles an hour. A pitch that he's going to need to work on over the offseason, or at least he'll probably end up going back to the minors coming up at the when guys start coming back from injury, and Fowler gets under the fly ball there and gets it for out number 3. The Dodgers go 1-2-3 here in the second. Cubs still leading this one 4-0. We move to the bottom of the second. Fowler, Russell, and Rizzo to bat. So the Cubs batted around here in the first. So if they can have a similar type inning, this game could be out of reach, and out of reach quickly, and they could bounce Brandon McCarthy fast. There was a game in which McCarthy pitched against the Cardinals, I believe it was, and he pitched terrible. He started that game, what was it, 5-0 or something like that, and left it with the loss, as he only went 3 1/3 innings in that ball game and gave up a boatload of runs to the Cardinals on Sunday Night Baseball. So this is not out of the question for him that he would be struggling in the early innings against the ball club. And an NL Central ball club at that, as Fowler fouls the 0-1 pitch away and is now 0-2. Fowler having a good game so far, although he's only had 1 at bat, and that was last inning. So looking to repeat that last inning as he flies out, so that won't happen. But Ethier catches it out there in center field. 1 out, nothing of moving Fowler over to third with 1 away in the inning, and that started the rally there. Russell, though, having a decent season, especially for a rookie. He's batting just over 250, so you can't really, he's going to get better. The pitch from McCarthy, curveball in the dirt, strike 1, and Russell, that's one of Russell's weaknesses there, is that he likes to swing at that curveball in the dirt, that and that slider. Although sometimes he has a hard time picking those up. But if he could lay off that thing, he could be making a lot of walks. Grounder now to Rollins. Rollins picks it this time, guns it across the diamond, and gets his man Russell down on a 6-3 putout by Rollins, and quickly 2 outs here in the second. So definitely not repeating what happened last inning. Here's Anthony Rizzo now batting .280 this year. 11 home runs, all on the road. Last time he had a multi-homer game was against the Cleveland Indians in Cleveland. The first pitch to Rizzo, swing and a miss on the cutter, way up and away. What was he thinking on that one? I have no idea. But McCarthy trying to bounce back from that god-awful inning he had last inning as he gave up the 4 runs. The pitch to Rizzo. Rizzo hits a high drive, but it is way too high to go any sort of distance. Ethier camps under it, and that is the end of the second. Dodgers coming up again next inning. Callaspo, McCarthy, and Crawford due up for the Dodgers. Alberto Callaspo getting his first at bat. He's got an RBI double in the series, but that's been about it. Although it did come at the right time. I believe it was last game that he did that, and it came at the right time as he was able to put the Cubs away for good, supplying enough insurance that he would ensure that the Cubs would not come back last game. Edwards' first pitch misses 1-0. Edwards having a good game so far, only having allowed 1 hit, but he's been a little bit wild, but he's been effectively wild, as they would say. But he's been trying to nibble on the corners, just kind of missing here and there. But like I said, he's been having a very good game so far. But he's going to groove that one over the middle of the plate. That one's hit high and deep to left field. Schwarber gets under it, and there's 1 away. Almost warning track power for Callaspo. He almost gave the Dodgers a little bit of something to cheer about in this ball game, but that was quickly squashed by the wind here at Wrigley, which is blowing in today. As you guys probably know and hear all the time, when the wind blows in at this place, it is a tough place to hit.
First pitch coming.
Not a lot of balls fly out, and your offense has to mostly contain doubles and singles and triples and stuff that's staying in the park, and you're going to have to manufacture runs. Although that's what the Cubs did today, and that's not what this ball club is built around. They are built around hitting the ball out of the ballpark, so it kind of hurts a little bit when the wind's blowing in. And that's kind of probably why this series has been a little bit of a tough one for him. Although Travis Wood did hit a home run on Monday, the first game of this series. McCarthy now 0-2 from Edwards. Swing and a miss by McCarthy, who looked foolish up there, swinging wildly at that fastball. 2 away now here in the third. Edwards looking sharp. And that's all they could hope for from this young man here. One heck of a pitcher so far this season. He has done one heck of a job filling in the rotation for this Cubs ball club. Definitely will be in the September call-ups as Crawford, again, first pitch swinging. It's a fly ball to left that's caught by Schwarber to end the inning. Schwarber getting a little bit of action out there and left finally. But that's going to do it for the third. The Dodgers go down again, 1-2-3. Cubs still leading 4-0. All right, Jorge Soler coming up to the plate now. He's playing right field today. He's been playing right field all year. It's been good to see him doing well. He's actually second in the Rookie of the Year balloting for the Cubs as he fouls away a cutter there from Brandon McCarthy to go 0-1. Chris Bryant actually at one point this season was leading the Rookie of the Year voting, but he has since fallen off as Jorge Soler hits a grounder again right to Rollins. This time Rollins is not going to miss it and throws out Soler. The person, though, leading the National League Rookie of the Year voting is Jung Ho Kang from Pittsburgh, as he has just been hitting the cover off the ball for Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh sitting in second place here in the NL Central, and a team that the Cubs have not been able to handle whatsoever. But we're going to see if Chris Bryant can get it started here. Swinging and missing at a sinker on just off the outside corner. It's 0-1. But he's been swinging through a lot of pitches here. A lot of pitches that he should be hitting hard. He's not making solid contact with, as he's usually popping them up or hitting them on the ground. McCarthy throws it, and that's a double. That's going to end up going all the way to the wall for Chris Bryant. And the Cubs a little bit in business here, as Chris Bryant, thinking that he's trying to get out of this slump, hits a double, and the ball is dropped by Justin Turner on that, but that doesn't mean anything, as Chris Bryant will stay put at second base. But looked like he finally made some solid contact with that ball, and you can see the stat line there for McCarthy, 2 1/3, giving up 6 hits over 2 1/3, and he's allowed 4 runs, but only one of them was earned, as it was an error by Jimmy Rollins that caused a lot of problems for the Dodgers in the first. Bryant now on second, Montero at the plate. Montero's going to hit a ground ball, base hit up the middle. There, Bryant's going to come around to try and score. Here comes the throw to the plate, it's offline, and Bryant scores! And the Cubs now lead 5-0. As Montero gets another RBI. He's got 3 this ball game, and it's only the third. So he is just, the Cubs have been missing him greatly. That has probably been part of the Cubs' offensive woes, although Schwarber did do a decent job of filling in for Montero. And speaking of the devil, here comes Schwarber, this time playing left field today. And McCarthy is going to get ready, and the pitch from McCarthy. Curveball misses on the inside corner. It's 0-1, or 1-0 to the Cubs rookie left fielder / catcher. This could be a very short outing for Brandon McCarthy, though, if he can't get his pitches under control and start working the corners. Nice sinker there, though, to Schwarber. Schwarber swings through it. 1-1 now to the Cub left fielder.
Runners on first with 1 down.
McCarthy getting set, and the pitch from McCarthy. Nice cutter there, broke in and off the inside corner of the plate as Schwarber swings at it for strike 2. Schwarber swings. Having a little bit of a problem there with that one. But Montero now on first base. Basically all they need to do is have Schwarber not hit a ground ball. And he swings and taps one foul off the outside corner. It's still 1-2 on the Cubs rookie. McCarthy having to work a lot these first 3 innings. 35 pitches already. The pitch from McCarthy. Grounder right to Cayespo. Second for 1. Rollins down to first for 2, and that ends the Cubs' threat here in the third. But they do get another run on a Montero RBI single up the middle, scoring Chris Bryant as they now lead 5-0 here against Los Angeles at the end of the third. Getting started here in the top of the fourth, Justin Turner, who grounded out his last time up at the plate, trying to get something going. The Dodgers really need to get something going here against C.J. Edwards. One thing I will tell you guys, too, is that out of all the games that we've played, as C.J. Edwards throws one just off the outside corner for a strike there, the Cubs have played much better during the day than they have at night, surprisingly, because it's usually not that way. As Turner swings and misses on a changeup in the dirt, but they play so much better during the day, and I'm not 100% sure why, but I mean, if I could play more day games, that would be fantastic. But beating the Dodgers in this game is going to be the #1 thing, as Turner flies a ball to right field. Soler gets under it and has it, and that's 1 out here in the top of the fourth for the Dodgers. He's set down 8 in a row for the last 8 batters have not reached base, and he only has 37 pitches here through 3 1/3 innings. As Yasiel Puig comes to the plate here. Curveball high, hung a little bit there, but it gets in there for strike 1, as Edwards getting ahead of another batter here, 0-1. You always have to get that first strike, put them on their back foot. Fastball misses, belt high and inside. 1-1 now on Puig. You cannot never be too careful with Puig, though. Puig does have a lot of power, and he can hurt you. Pitch from Edwards, hits it off the end of the bat. Lazy fly ball to Schwarber left, and there's 2 outs here in the fourth now for the Dodgers. If Edwards continues to pitch this way, he is going to have a long game. It'd be really nice to see him go a good distance into this ball game. Like I said, the Cubs really do need a long outing from one of their starters. They did get a decent start last night from John Lester, but they were not able to get anything done, as the offense was not a non-factor in that ball game. The offense has really come alive in this ball game, making the Dodgers pay for mistakes, especially that Jimmy Rollins error in the first inning that allowed them to score 4 runs. Change up there, swung through by Gonzalez for strike 1. These guys aren't taking many pitches, though. They're sitting there just swinging away. And I do appreciate that, because it's making this a very easy game for CJ. CJ could use an easy game, although I'm going to tell you right now, this possibly could be his final start in the majors until another injury or September. Swung on and tapped foul by Gonzalez, but he's definitely making a case to be on this big league ball club come playoff time. Grounder right to Bryant at third, who's playing in the third base in the shortstop position. Picked by Grizzo, and that was out number 3 there in the top of the fourth. Dodgers again go 1, 2, 3. We move to the bottom of the fourth. We got Edwards, Herrera, and Fowler leading off next inning. See if the Cubs can get something going. C.J. Edwards coming up to the plate now. He does have an RBI single in this ball game. Gave himself a little bit of help in that first inning, but this is his first at bat since the first inning. Pitchers don't usually get the bat twice by the 4th inning, but kind of a rare occurrence here, as the Cubs were able to bat around in the first. And considering the pitcher usually is batting in the 9th spot, he usually doesn't get to see any action until the 2nd or 3rd inning. And, Cubs got C.J. Edwards in the 8th spot here. Cutter there, swung on a miss by Edwards. 0-2 now on him, as Brandon McCarthy has had a lot of work to do in these first few innings. And honestly, I'm surprised that Mattingly has not come out to get him. He's just been giving up a lot of hits. Reached for that slider there, tapped it off the end of the bat to Rollins, and there's one away here in the bottom of the fourth. Been a good ball game for the Cubs so far. As you saw there on the bottom line, Arizona blowing out, I believe it was San Diego. So you see Milwaukee's up 1-0 there in Milwaukee. Lagares 1 for 1 in that ball game. The Cubs do need Milwaukee to start losing some ball games because they are chasing them in the NL Central. The NL Central is pretty much a 3-team race at this point with the Cubs being so far out of it. They're 10.5 games out of the Central, and if they can get a win here, it would really be kind of a boost. And there, Herrera hits one deep into the gap in right center field. He's going to round second. He's going to round first, move to second, and then is going to be a double for Jonathan Herrera. So guys that haven't been hitting for this Cubs team now hitting as Jonathan Herrera gets a double. Where was that last time he was up at the plate? That kind of kept a big inning going. You see his stat line there. He's allowed 8 hits, but 3 of his runs have come against him have been unearned and only 1 strikeout. Now we got Dexter Fowler at the plate with 1 out and Jonathan Herrera on second base. RBI situation here for Fowler, who so far this season has not really come through on too many of them. But let's see if he can get one here. Broken bat, and he throws it to third as he was faked out by Herrera, and all hands are safe. It's an infield hit for Dexter Fowler, and that's going to go ahead and do it for Brandon McCarthy, who only gets through 3 1/3 innings here in Chicago before he is bounced, and he is responsible for the 2 runners on base currently, so that ERA could take a bigger hit than it already has, as they will bring in Brandon Beachy, a right-hander from the bullpen who's appeared in 10 ball games. This is his 11th game of the year. 1-1 with a 4.58 ERA, 17 innings on this 17 2/3 innings on the season with 10 strikeouts and 8 walks. So he can be wild at times. But that's gonna be it for McCarthy. Beachy's first batter that he will face will be Addison Russell, with runners on first and second. So another RBI situation for another guy. But let's see if this time they can make a little bit more use of it. Russell swings and misses at the slider there. 0-1 now on Russell. Beachy looks in, ready to throw to Addison Russell. The pitch, grounder right to Jimmy Rollins. That's going to be a double play ball. That's probably going to end the inning, and it does. Down to first, double play. Rollins starts the double play from the 6-4-3. The Cubs were not able to add anything in that inning, but they were able to bounce Brandon McCarthy from the ball game before the 4th inning as Beachy throws 2 pitches and he gets out of the inning. Andre Ethier now coming up to the plate for the Dodgers against C.J. Edwards, who has now retired, I believe, 10 in a row without allowing somebody to get on base. The only person that has reached base in this ball game has been Yasiel Puig in that first inning, but the inning was promptly ended by a Anthony Gonzalez ground out. And his pitch count at this point of the game is not much of a concern whatsoever, as the 1-0 pitch to Ethier, and that ball is going to dribble foul, and we're going to go ahead and do it again. Ethier was looking to beat that ball out. He looked like he was trying to go 2. He was rounding first base already, like he hit it out of the park or something, or if he hit it into the gap. I was mistaken earlier, by the way, that Arizona is whooping up on Colorado. Dribbler out in front of the mound, snagged barehanded by Edwards and throwing to Rizzo for out number 1 here in the top of the 5th. And this has been an impressive game from C.J. Edwards, as the only hit allowed, like I said before, was to Yasiel Puig, who lined one right back up the middle through the box. Edwards was not able to knock it down and thus not keep a no-hitter going, but had he been able to knock that ball down, he would be pitching a perfect game at this point. The first pitch to Grandal, changeup misses just low. Although that looked like a good pitch, that usually the umpire looks like he may have missed the call there. Edwards now at the 1-0 to Grandal. Tap foul by Grandal. Edwards has just looked so sharp today. as he always does here at Wrigley. For the most part, he has not had a problem here at home. It's been on the road where he's had his problems. But this is where he pitched his no-hitter back at the end of May. Trying to end the month of June on a strong note here. Grandal waiting. Edwards ready. And the pitch from Edwards. Changeup misses low to Grandal. Again, looked like a close call there on Grandal. But Edwards not getting the benefit of that call. The 3-1 now from Edwards. Line hard grounder to Russell. Over across the diamond to Rizzo. 2 outs here in the 5th as Edwards continues to roll through this Dodger lineup, this tough Dodger lineup with a lot of power and a lot of experience. You have speaking of experience, you have Jimmy Rollins, who I would assume at some point within the next couple years will be joining the 3,000 hit club. He's had one heck of a career, although as you guys probably know, the majority of it was with the Philadelphia Phillies, but jumping ship here now, the Phillies did not want to re-sign him. And so he's taking his services to Southern California. As changeup there misses from Edwards. 2-0 on Rollins. He's got to throw some strikes here. He's getting a little bit wild in this 5th inning. Popped up by Rollins. Montero is under it, and that's out number 3 as the Dodgers go quietly here in the 5th again. 1, 2, 3. And the Cubs still lead 5-0 here after 4.5. First batter of the inning coming up for the Cubbies is Anthony Rizzo, who's 1 for 2. He has an RBI in this ball game, an RBI single, which drove in Dexter Fowler in the 1st inning, looking to tack on to his stats for the day. And the pitch from Beachy. Grounder. Rollins plants, throws across, got him! As Rollins makes a nice play there on Anthony Rizzo. Couldn't do that in the 1st, but he's able to do it here in Anthony Rizzo's 3rd at bat. And that's 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. You got 3, 4, 5 this inning as well. So you got Soler here and then Chris Bryant to follow. And looking for a little bit more insurance here in this ball game. Fouled away by Soler. 0-1 now on the rookie right fielder. Lots of young guys on this Cubs ball club, which will make this ball club a team to fear for many years. Theo Epstein has done one heck of a job building this ball club as Soler lines one to right field. And is now that 1 out single, puts a runner on first and brings up Chris Bryant. And if Chris Bryant can put the ball where he did last time, this could be another run-scoring inning for the Cubs. But a nice stroke there by Jorge Soler. You see more pitchers warming up in the bullpen. And Chris Bryant now trying to get something going here for himself.
Standing in now, Chris Bryant.
The pitch to Bryant, changeup missed away there. 1-0 now on Bryant. Still looking to get himself out of this slump. He's got 1 hit in this ball game. It's a double. Landed in the right field gap, and he also scored a run in the 3rd on a Miguel Montero base hit up the middle. Montero 2 for 2 in this ball game, in his comeback game from the head contusion. Guy's finally starting to come off of the DL for the Cubbies here. So hopefully they're getting back to full strength and hopefully can bounce themselves over the 500 mark to 1-1 to Bryant. Swing and a miss, strike 2 by Bryant.
Just overmatched him there.
It was a high fastball. He just could not put the bat on. That has just been something he has not been able to do. Hit that inside fastball with any sort of authority. And he's also lost the lead in the home run race here in the National League. The pitch from Beachy. Ooh, just missed off the outside corner. Looked like a good pitch. You can see the Tigers leading 7-4 against the King Rouse's White Sox. I'm not sure exactly if that game ended with King Rouse winning. I know he does need a win, as do I. We've both been struggling mightily through the month of June. Oh, and strike three. Bryant can't get the bat off his shoulders. A nice curveball from Brandon Beachy as Bryant is not able to get a decent swing off on that ball there. Must have started a little bit too early, was fooled mightily on that, and the struggles still continue for him as he thought he was breaking out of it. It's not to be. 2 outs here now in the bottom of the 5th. Pitch from Beachy. Ball line down the line. Foul into the seats and right. Montero got a good piece of that one. Too bad he couldn't have kept that fair. That would have topped off one heck of a ball game, and that would have put him a triple shy of the cycle if he could have hit a home run there. The pitch to Montero, driven deep to left. It's flying. The warning track, and it's caught just under the basket by Carl Crawford as that retires the side for the Cubs in the 5th, but Montero gave that ball a ride. Was thinking that one was going to get out, but it just wasn't to be. Callaspo, the pitcher spot, and Crawford coming up this inning. I'm sure they're going to pinch hit for the pitcher. I don't know many teams that leave in their relievers when they come up to bat. Callaspo now trying to get the Dodgers started. Fastball right down Broadway there from Edwards. 0-1 now on Callaspo. Not too many things going on today with Edwards. Edwards has been very good in this ball game, very sharp. Looks like he's had his good stuff today. Callaspo finally, somebody gets a hit for the Dodgers as Callaspo gets a base hit up the middle, and that is only the 2nd hit against C.J. Edwards in this ball game. A nice job by Callaspo to wait on that changeup and line it back up the middle. You see there too, he's been on top of his game. 5 innings pitched, only 2 hits in this ball game. No runs and no walks. He's been sharp, on point, and he will now face Howie Kendrick, who is pinch hitting for the pitcher, Brandon Beachy, and see how he fares against C.J. Edwards, because many of it should be their first time seeing him, considering this is his rookie year and he has not gone through the league once. And the fastball right down Broadway there, 1-1 on Howie Kendrick. I think that's been one problem that a lot of teams have had with him, is the fact that this is their first time seeing him. This is his first time go around through baseball. Fastball hit high and deep by Kendrick. That one is not coming back as the Dodgers get on the board and draw closer here in this ball game. It was just a fastball that was left out over the middle of the plate, and Kendrick made him pay dearly as he jacks it into the left field bleachers. And the Cubs still lead 5-2, but closer ball game here, a little bit more scary. The Cubs do need to win this ball game and do need to continue to get a good start from C.J. Edwards, who needs to at least go 6. Although that pitch could be indicative of his exit from this ball game shortly. If he makes another pitch like that, that could be the end of the ball game for him. And he knew it, though, after that pitch. You can see it on the replay there. Very upset with himself for leaving that fastball there, and Kendrick just drilled it into the seats. Batting next for the Dodgers is Crawford. Crawford has had absolutely no success whatsoever. This being his 3rd at bat, he has only seen that being his 3rd pitch that he's seen all game from C.J. Edwards. So he's not seeing too much from the Cubs rookie. He is blown out twice. And the curveball misses badly there. 1-1.
So after the strong 5 innings, things have not come as easily for him.
Strong 5 innings from Edwards, but this inning has been a little bit of a rough patch for him. The curveball grounded, picked by Herrera, spins and throws and gets Crawford. 1 out here now in the 6th, as that was his first. He recorded his first out finally here in the 6th after a single and a homer the last 2 batters. So getting back to the guys that can't hit the ball, Justin Turner coming up to the plate. Turner has fallen off severely since his early season success in April when he was batting over 500. The first pitch from Edwards to Turner on the outside corner, strike one. 0-1 now on the Dodger third baseman. Edwards still trying to continue his good start here. The 0-1 pitch to Turner is fouled away. 0-2 now. And the 0-2 pitch to Turner. Turner swings and misses on a curveball. Strike three. And he'll grab some bench as Edwards gets his third strikeout of the ball game. Bouncing back, and that's what you want to see from the rookie. Bouncing back after that home run, having some resiliency and that short memory that they always talk about when you're pitching. You got to have the shortest memory. The only person that has to have a shorter memory is the quarterback of a team. You can't continue to keep throwing interceptions. But he's had a short memory, and that's good. It's a good thing to see from a rookie, as you're trying to breed him so when he makes one mistake, he doesn't let it affect the rest of the ball game. As Puig gets a high fly right ball to right field. Soler under it, makes the catch, and that does it for the sixth. Top of the sixth here in Chicago, but Kendricks, I'm thinking of Kyle Hendricks. And then there's Kyle Kendrick. And getting a little bit confusing me there. Brandon League comes in for the Dodgers, this making his 30th appearance of the year. 2-3 on the season with a 4.13 ERA, over 28 and a third innings, 16 strikeouts and 13 walks. And the first batter he faces will be the Cubs' rookie left fielder, Kyle Schwarber. Schwarber 1 for 2 today with a single, as he is trying to get out of his slump and swings and misses at the pitch off the outside corner. 0-1 on the Cubs rookie left fielder. League eyeing the ball real quick, getting on the mound and getting ready to go again. Schwarber looking for something good to hit here. As you see on the bottom there, Freddie Freeman hit his 16th homer of the year, and a leading 16th homer of the year. Stabbed by Gonzalez. Can Schwarber beat it up? No! Nice play by Adrian Gonzalez as he stabbed that liner, that one hopping liner, and that was one heck of a play by the big guy at first base. But then made a nice flip there to Brandon League to get Schwarber out, and Schwarber couldn't believe it there. What a play. And that is going to go ahead and do it. Before C.J. Edwards, we will see Mike Olt pinch hitting for the Cubs here in the bottom of the sixth, and that was a good performance by C.J. Edwards, and the Cubs will get somebody up in the pen. Looks like Jason Mott warming up for the Cubs, and the pitch from League swung on and missed by Mike Olt. Olt has been struggling a little bit as of late, but the power does come and go with him. Somebody that is not a very consistent hitter, but yet he is still a very good hitter when he's on. Swung on and missed again. 0-2 on the 96-mile-an-hour fastball from Brandon League. And he's going to be looking for something here that could be nasty. You see there, he does have a slider, so that's probably the pitch that Olt will see here. No, he saw the splitter there. Was thinking something that was going to be break off the plate, but that one didn't break off the plate. It broke down, but he was able to hold up his swing there and check his swing. League ready for the 1-2. Grounder off the middle, base hit for Holt, and making the best of his limited appearances here this season. You see there in the ninth inning, Detroit leading the White Sox 7-5. Nick Castellanos 3 for 4 in that ball game with an RBI. But that was a nice hit there by Olt. Too bad. I hope King Rouse ended up winning that ball game, but he probably didn't. He's had a really rough stretch lately, and does not get any better if he loses to Detroit. But Jonathan Herrera at the plate here. It's 0-1. Mike Olt on first base. Grounder up the middle, picked by Rollins, flips to second, down to first, double play. Beautiful double play there, started by Mr. Rollins, as That ends the Cubs' 6th inning, and Brandon League is pumped up on the mound after a beautiful play by Jimmy Rollins. You get a look at the stat line there. Howie Kendrick came in with a pinch hit 2-run homer, and Miguel Montero driving in 3 runs for the Cubs with a 2-run double and an RBI single, respectively there. And they're going to have a position player on the mound, and we're not going to go ahead and watch this because we're just going out there for a mound visit to get Mott ready for this out there. He is ready to go, putting him in the ball game. Here comes Jason Mott, making his 31st appearance of the year. He's 0-1, no saves on the season with a 7.36 ERA, so it's been a rough season for him thus far. He's got 29 in the 3rd inning, 11 strikeouts, and 4 walks on the season. But he has been pitching better as of late, and the Cubs really do need him to continue to do what he's been doing. Probably should have brought in a lefty here, but Mott will be their 7th inning guy generally if they need a 7th inning guy, unless the starter is to go 7, then they don't really need Mott. But you will see, most likely, if this result here stays the same, you will see Pedro Strop and Hector Rondon at some point in this ball game. A 1-0 pitch from Mott, grounded right to where absolutely nobody is by Gonzalez. And we're going to see, oh yeah, I thought he was going to be trying to take 2 there. But that would have been a ground out right to the third baseman had that shift not been on. And that sometimes backfires. The shift will backfire on you there. And there's really nothing you can do about it. You play him to pull if he's a dead pull hitter, and if he hits it the other way, good for him. He's playing baseball the right way, hitting it where they're not. But now you got Andre Ethier coming up here with 1 on and no outs here in the top of the 7th, and the Cubs really do not need somebody coming in and giving up this ball game because they do need a win, and they need a win badly. The pitch from Mott on the outside corner, 99 miles an hour, and he comes in flame-throwing here for the Cubs. And that just kind of stinks. You see a guy throwing 92 all game, and all of a sudden they bring in a guy throwing almost 100 miles an hour. And that's tough to battle there. And that one, straight paint, 99 miles an hour on the outside corner. You can't paint the corner any better than Jason Mott did. What a pitch. 0-2 now on Andre Ethier. The 0-2 pitch from Mott, down on the 90-mile-an-hour cutter from Mott. As you get a beautiful view there of the friendly confines of Wrigley Field. Cubs winning 5-2 here. In the top of the 7th, Jason Mott pitching.
5-2 our score as we play
1-2 now on Ethier. Mott ready, and the pitch. Down in the dirt there. 2-2 now on the cutter from Jason Mott. And that is a final in Detroit. Chicago drops the first of the 4-game set there at Comerica, 7-5. Thought he was going to be able to come back there. Grounder right to Herrera. To Russell, down to first, double play! As Mott induces the double play ground ball from Andre Ethier. The twin killing kills what could be a possible rally here for the Dodgers, who are trying to come back in this ball game. As there's now 2 outs here in the top of the 7th, and Yasmani Grandal at the plate. The pitch from Mott, popped up as Mott induces the pop fly. Montero has it, and that does it for the Dodgers here in the top of the 7th. Nothing doing, and we move on to the bottom of the 7th. 7th inning stretch time here at Wrigley. Hopefully the Cubs can get some more runs. You know what they say about the 7th inning stretch. That's what usually when the Cubs start to score more runs. Brandon League still in the ball game, now facing Dexter Fowler. And the pitch from League, bunted. That one's down the line. Fowler going to try and beat it out. Oh, and didn't beat it out, but it was a close play there at first. And Joe Madden is going to come out and see if we can get a challenge here, thinking that Fowler might have been safe on that play. We'll get another look at it here. Nice throw by Grandal, and he was indeed out, in my opinion. And we'll see if Madden will challenge that.
I can see why this was a really tough call on the
But it was a very close play, and a play that you could make an argument that possibly could have been safe. But Chris Bosio is going to tell Madden not to challenge that as Bosio gets the call from upstairs, and they do not want to challenge that. So 1 out now here in the bottom of the 7th. A little bit of excitement there for the Cubbies. Thought Dexter Fowler was going to reach on that play. The pitch to Russell, slider. The pitch that has just been the bane of his existence. He swings through and misses. 0-1 on the Cubs rookie shortstop, who usually plays second base, but with Castro getting the day off today, Edison gets a shot there at short. Tapped foul now by Russell. 0-2. Brandon League looking to try and get through another quick inning here. And the pitch, that one ends up being a sinker down and out of the zone to Russell. Now 1-2. And it looks like the Cubs are going to be getting a guy up in the pen. It looks like it's going to be, who else but Pedro Strop. Pedro Strop having a decent season this year, but does need to help hammer down the hatches here in this one. Line base hit to right field by Addison Russell, and the Cubs now 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th, looking to do a little bit more damage here and increase this lead a little bit more. Good job though, taking that ball the other way. Not many rookies do that, but he is definitely uses the whole field here. As we will now see Anthony Rizzo up with 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. The pitch from League, swing and a miss by Rizzo, and Addison Russell is toast at second base. Caught stealing by Yasmani Grandal. Did not get a good jump on that, and a nice quick move to the plate by Brandon League. Looked like a possible hit and run there, just in case Anthony was going to hit in a ground ball, as I think the Cubs have grounded into 3 double plays today, all started by Jimmy Rollins. Now the bases loaded, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th after Russell was caught stealing. The pitch to Rizzo. Rizzo hits one high and deep, but way foul, but he got a good piece of that one. Was hoping that one would stay fair for him, but like I said, still has not hit a home run here at home. Ironic, home run, not at home. The pitch from League, up and in, 95-mile-an-hour fastball, now 1-2 to the Cub first baseman. That was definitely a fastball that I would think was for show, trying to change his eye level a little bit. Maybe he's going to break off something down in the dirt here on this 1-2 pitch. Cubs still leading this one 5-2 here in the bottom of the 7th. 2 outs. The 1-2 pitch from League. Grounder right to Cayespo. Takes his time, gathers himself, and puts out Rizzo as the Cubs do nothing here in the bottom of the 7th. Still 5-2. The Cubs have not gotten anything since the 3rd inning after the RBI single from Miguel Montero.
Jimmy Rollins will stand in again.
Batting first here in the top of the 8th for the Dodgers, who are running a little short on time here, is Jimmy Rollins, and Bosio is coming out just to talk real quick and wait for Pedro Strop to finish being ready. Strop comes in now, this being his 30th game of the year. 0-2 on the season with a 3.81 ERA and over 26 innings, 30 strikeouts, and only 4 walks. So he has not been wild, just, I'd have to say, probably a little bit hittable. Maybe he needs to work the corners a little bit more, try and get some guys to hit some weaker balls. Rollins the first to greet Strop. Strop set, and the pitch down and away from Strop for ball 1 on that one, as Rollins takes a lead in the account again. Strop ready again, the 1-0. Up and away there now. He's just missing away right now. He needs to get a strike here on the Dodgers shortstop. The pitch rounded away, foul. 2-1 there on a good fastball from Strop. Strop set, and the pitch. This is inside, 97 on that 2-seam fastball. He is definitely warmed up here. 3-1 now on the Dodgers shortstop, Jimmy Rollins.
Now
The pitch
3-1.
from Strop
And a good
down,
take there.
and
Let him a
speaking
base
of not
runner
having
as
many
his
walks,
eighth inning.
Jimmy Rollins to start off the top of the 8th, and that is not something you can have. You got to bring a guy in there, and he's got to throw strikes. If you're going to bring him in there, you got to throw strikes. That's just plain and simple. You can't have him walking people.
Now. He has flied out and singled so far.
As Cayespo now comes up to the plate. Cayespo singled last time and scored on the Howie Kendrick home run as that slider misses off the inside corner, and I don't know where that one missed, but it missed nonetheless as Strop down 1-0 in this count. The 1-0 pitch from Strop misses inside, and he's having a hard time getting the ball over the plate.
Hey, this is the number 8 hitter up there. No reason.
And Montero goes out to talk to Pedro Strop, settle him down a little bit. Can't have him walking too many people in this 8th inning. Trying to protect the 3-run lead here, while not a small lead, still a lead that is leaves them within striking distance. Cayespo now ready again, and the pitch misses inside. What is going on here? Pedro Strop cannot seem to get anybody out. He's not really providing much relief for the Cubs here, as the Cubs now will go to the bullpen and warm up a couple more guys in case Strop can't get his stuff together here. 3-0 on Cayespo, as there we go. Finally, it gets over, getting over strike there. 3-1 now on Cayespo. And we can't, the Cubs definitely cannot have Strop go haywire this inning, as, like I said, they're trying to protect this lead here. Ground ball past Herrera, scooped up by Soler, and he's going to keep the runners on first and second with no outs here now in the 8th, and trouble is a brewing here for the Cubs as the Dodgers now have 2 on and no out. It was a nice piece of hitting there by Cayespo as he put it out just past Jonathan Herrera. And Scott Van Slyke is going to come in and pinch hit for Brandon League. And he has been pretty decent this series, coming up in clutch situations. So we're going to hope that he doesn't come up in this clutch situation against Strop. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Finally, Strop getting ahead of the guy here in this 8th inning. I think he's knowing that he might be getting pulled if he doesn't do anything in this inning here. The pitch from Strop in the dirt. Nice block there by Montero. Could have been a lot of trouble there if the runners had gotten to advance on that. Strop misses with the slider now. 2-1, so now he's falling behind another hitter here in this Dodger lineup. And needing an out desperately here in this 8th inning. Double play would be great, as a swing and a miss at the slider by Van Slyke. 2-2 now. Even a strikeout would work here. Just an out, any kind of out would work for the Cubs here. The 2-2 pitch from Strop pops him up to center field, and then it will not advance the runner, as Fowler gets under it and throws that into Chris Bryant at third base as he drops it, but the runner will not advance. It did not make a difference. It did not get far enough away from Bryant on that play. But Fowler makes a nice play there on that hit, and I don't know if they would really want to try and test him either, as he is the Cubs outfield assist leader on the season, I believe, with 5. A couple nice plays where he's thrown some guys out at the plate. But now we're going to see Carl Crawford up here. So now this is the time to crack down. You do not want to make a mistake here, and Strop needs a good at bat here, a good out, and to finish off this outing here. Nice pitch there by Strop. He gets ahead of Carl Crawford. 0 for 1. Crawford has not been existent in this ball game today, at least while he was facing C.J. Edwards. So we're going to hope that it continues against Pedro Strop. Strop's ready, and the pitch. Rounded foul on the slider there. 0-2 now on Carl Crawford. Crawford is a dangerous hitter, though. He can go off at any time, and so you can't be too careful with him. The pitch from Strop. Hit high and deep to left center field. That's going to be caught by Fowler. But the runner will advance to third, as there are now 2 outs here in the 8th.
A little bit of a risk there with 2 away. You don't want to run
Strop
yourself into a
almost
double play
out
to end
of
the
this.
inning,
He needs
but
one
he's
more
able to make
out
it up
here
there.
in
Puts
the
runners on
8th
corners now with
inning.
2 outs.
He's facing Justin Turner too, who is 0 for 3.
Showdown looming. 2 on,
It is a
2
showdown
out here
looming
in
here.
inning number 8.
Strop misses off the inside corner on the first pitch. 1-0. You do not want to walk this guy and have to face Yasiel Puig with the bases loaded. You'd like to face him with nobody on, because that is a dangerous proposition right there. The pitch from Strop swung on and missed on the splitter. 1-1. Making this a little bit of a stressful inning for Strop. Strop needs to get out of this inning here unscathed to help the Cubbies get this W here and fly the white flag here at Wrigley. Now 1-2 as Turner fouled that ball away. Strop ready. 1-2. The pitch from Strop. Swing and a strike 3 by Justin Turner with his second strikeout of the game, and Strop makes it a little bit tense there, but gets out of the inning. We move to the bottom of the 8th. Cubs still lead it 5-2. It was an awful swing by Turner on that one.
Joel Peralta is on out of the bullpen now as he'll take over to start the bottom of the 8th.
Joel Peralta now coming into the game for the Dodgers. Jorge Soler batting for the Cubs. And Peralta ready. Peralta ended up taking the loss in the first ball game. Won't be taking the loss here. Soler swinging and missing at a fastball way inside on that one. 0-1 count now. You see there St. Louis playing Miami later on tonight. Lance Lynn facing off against Cozart, Mike Cozart, or I can't remember his name, and Atlanta leading Washington currently. And a great curveball from Peralta as he fools Soler badly on that pitch. Cubs could really use a little bit more insurance here in this inning, and Soler is going to step out of the box, kind of regroup himself a little bit after those 2 bad pitches, and looks like the Cubs are going to get Hector Rondon up in the bullpen, ready for the 9th inning. Unless they are to score, then they'll probably bring him in again, because he has not seen much action lately, as the Cubs have been struggling. So they will probably still bring him in. Jorge Soler 0-2 on him, with Chris Bryant waiting on deck. The pitch from Peralta grounded to Callejo, scoops it and gets his man at first base. 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th. He got lucky there, though, that ball didn't hit the lip of the outfield grass, because that could have skipped past him. And now Chris Bryant at the plate. He's 1 for 3 today with a double, trying to get off the snide here, having a really rough stretch. Ooh, and the splitter fools him on that one, a 79-mile-an-hour splitter. So that's a tough pitch to hit right there. Not the easiest one, coming in kind of slow, considering Peralta throws pretty fast. To have a splitter that comes in that slow is really kind of a change on him there. The pitch to Bryant. Oh, tries to check his swing, but an awful pitch as the crowd gives it to him a little bit for swinging at that terrible pitch. 0-2 now on Bryant. Peralta trying to finish him off. Oh, and Bryant just looking abysmal out there at the plate. That's his 3rd strikeout of the game. Other than that double, he has done absolutely nothing today. Joel Peralta is just a ridiculously hard person to hit, though. He is a great pitcher, and the Cubs have just not been able to figure him out this series. They were able to figure him out in the first game, but otherwise they haven't. And Miguel Montero at the plate, and man, Peralta is just making the Cubs look foolish at the plate. It'd be good to see Montero continue to hit the ball hard this ball game, although Peralta is a very tough customer to get to. The 0-1 from Peralta. Way inside with the curveball. 1-1 on Montero now. the Cubs needing honestly, they probably need some more insurance. They got a tough inning coming up. They have Puig, Gonzalez, and then I can't remember who comes up after him. Oh, Ethier. Ethier's coming up after those two guys. So not an easy inning coming up for Hector Rondon. 1-2 now to Montero. Fouled away by Montero, and he'll make Peralta do it again. Montero waiting. Peralta ready. Peralta is a pitcher that takes his time. And the pitch from Peralta. Fouled away by Montero again. Still 1-2. The Dodgers tend to have a lot of guys in their bullpen that like to take their sweet time getting to the plate. Another guy that takes a long time to get to the plate, Kenley Jensen, who we probably won't see this game, at least at this point, as Montero pops it high behind the plate. Grandal under it, and that's going to do it for the Cubs in the bottom of the 8th. Fasten your seatbelts as we go to the 9th inning. Cubs leading by 3. Hector Rondon will be coming in. Yasiel Puig going to be leading it off this inning, as he will be the first one to greet Hector Rondon. Rondon going for his 17th save of the year. I believe he is 16 for 20 at this point. I'm not 100% sure, so don't quote me. I will look that up after the game, so next time I know. But I do know this is his 17th. He's going for his 17th save, as you saw there. He has 16 on the season, and Puig will be the first one he faces. Puig 1 for 3 today. Rondon ready, and the pitch. Cutter cuts to the outside corner there. 0-1 now on Puig. Rondon was not able to bat down the hatch in the first game, as the Dodgers were able to get the one run they needed to tie the ball game up, but the Cubs ended up winning that one in 11.
Now here's the pitch.
The pitch from Rondon. Inside, fouled away. Rondon ready. The 0-2 to Puig. Swing and a miss, strike 3 as Rondon strikes out Puig. Down to first from Montero because he couldn't hold on to it. And that's 1 out here in the top of the 9th. The Cubs looking for what would be best case scenario this series, a split against the best team, one of the best teams in the National League. That is not something to sneer at here, although it would be nice to have taken 3 of 4. They couldn't get much done. But you got Adrian Gonzalez at the plate now. Time to take business. Take care of business. He hits one high and deep to left center field. And Fowler is there, makes the catch on the warning track. Should have had another hot dog today, Gonzo. As there are now 2 outs here in the top of the 9th. And Andre Ethier steps to the plate. This would be really nice to see the Cubs split this series with the Dodgers. And would almost seem to be getting back on track. The pitch to Ethier down and away from Rondon. 1-0 now on Ethier. Rondon ready.
Here's the 1-0.
The 1-0 to Ethier. Misses down.
2 balls and no strikes.
And now there's 2 balls and no strikes here. Cubs still leading 5-2. Here in the top of the 9th, but there's 2 outs. For the Cubs needing this game.
The 2-0 on the way.
Needing this last out to clinch one from the Dodgers. Changeup a little bit high there, but on the outside corner nonetheless. And gets a strike there. 2-1 now on Ethier. Crowd getting a little bit restless here at Wrigley, as they always do when it comes down to the end of the game. And the pitch from Rondon. Outside now, 3-1 on Andre Ethier, with Yasmani Grandal batting up on deck in the on-deck circle. Rondon, the pitch fouled away by Ethier. Now full count here, top of the 9th. 39,000 strong on their feet here at Wrigley, wanting to see the final out. In the 3-2 pitch from Rondon, hit high and deep, foul, and out of play by Ethier. And the count will stay 3-2. Rondon set. Crowd getting rowdy. The pitch from Rondon. Oh, it goes behind Ethier for ball 4. Montero was able to corral it, but that is a walk from Hector Rondon on a god-awful pitch. Honestly, it wouldn't have mattered if that hit Ethier or not. Either way, it was ball 4. That was a really wild slider. I have no idea what happened on that pitch. But they do now have a runner on. But the tying run is not at the plate. Yosmani Grandal must get on for that to happen. Rondon in the stretch now. And the pitch to Grandal. Misses outside on the two-seam fastball. 1-0 now on Grandal. They just need an out here. One more out. Come on, Hector. Let's get this. Rondon ready. On the outside corner. 97-mile-an-hour fastball from Rondon. Straight pain at 97, as Steve Lyons would say. But we got a 1-1 count now on Grandal. The pitch from Rondon. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Fans are wanting a strikeout here. Cub fans getting excited. Back on their feet here. 1-2 on Grandal. They're going to go back to that slider, I think. Popped up to center fielder. To the center fielder Fowler. Under it. Camped under it. Canaquan. And the Cubs win. They split this series with the Dodgers in a great offensive performance today. They were able to finally get the bats going as they win 5-2 here. Rondon picks up his 17th save of the year. C.J. Edwards locks down his 4th win of the season. And Brandon McCarthy takes his 2nd loss to drop to 6-2 on the campaign. Mattingly not happy with his team's performance today, but the Cubs can't be. But Joe Madden can't be any happier than he is today. Cubs end up splitting the series with the Dodgers, with 3 more to come later in the season around August against this ball club from Chavez Ravine. But if they were able to take 2 or 3 there, they'll take the season series from the Dodgers. You get the final stat lines there. Cubs 5 runs, 11 hits, no errors. Dodgers 2 runs, 5 hits, 1 error. You see the 2 big contributors for the Cubs today. C.J. Edwards only allowing that 2-run blast in the 6th inning to Howie Kendrick, and the 3 RBI game from Miguel Montero, who is your player of the game. 2 for 4 today with a double, a single, scored a run, and knocked in 3 with a stellar performance today, and ended up being the difference in this ball game today for the Cubs. So a great performance from the big guy behind the plate in his first game back off the DL from his 2nd head contusion this season so far. Get a nice shot of his double right there as he drilled that one into the gap. That was not going to be denied there, although the only problem was we wasn't sure if Jorge Soler was going to be able to score on that play, but he did on a throw that ended up being off line to Grandal, and that was what put the Cubs up for good. That the Dodgers had no chance of coming back after that, as he also added an RBI single in the 3rd inning to knocking Chris Bryant after Chris Bryant had his only hit in the ball game. It's going to go ahead and do it for this ball game here. I'll be back right after with a little post-game recap, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Something new. If you guys don't like it, be sure to let us know in the comments here on YouTube. If you liked it, let us know. Just trying something new here, me and King Rouse. Trying to make it a little bit more fun for us, a little bit more fun for you guys to watch. But you get a little bit of a recap there. Big game from Montero, and so yeah, look at that. Another win, our 34th win of the season, 34-41 now, inching our way ever closer to the All-Star break now and the end of June. But yeah, that good game today. C.J. Edwards pitched one heck of a ball game. Definitely out-pitched Brandon McCarthy, who had a real rough time today, leaving a lot of pitches over the plate. Guys hitting the ball hard, and that's not the way to win a ball game. You can't be leaving pitches over the plate. But C.J. Edwards, whip still sitting under 1. So he's not even allowing a hit or a walk per inning. But that did wrap up the series there with the Dodgers as we were able to win the first and last game of that series with Zach Greinke and Hyun-Jin Ryu beating us in the middle there. It was an unfortunate loss for John Lester, who just really couldn't get any offensive support. But hopefully the offense can continue as we go on to St. Louis for our next series. It was that short 4-game homestand against the Dodgers, and now we are going to St. Louis for 3. With our pitching matchups going to be the struggling Jake Arrieta against John Lackey for the Cardinals. The second game of that series will be Travis Wood, who is hoping to build on his last start, in which he went 6 shutout innings and hit a home run for the Cubs to help beat Clayton Kershaw and the Dodgers in the first game of that last series. He'll be facing off against Michael Wacha. Wacha having a decent season so far. The Cardinals have just been having a decent season overall. And then you have Kyle Hendricks in the third and final game of that series before we finally get a day off. He'll be facing off against Adam Wainwright, who has struggled a little bit this year. Ever since that first game where we were able to touch him up in April back at Wrigley Field, he's been having a rough go of it. But that will be the third and final game of that series, and then we will end the month with one game, with the beginning of our 3-game set against the Mets. But we will get a day off from there, so our guys will finally get a chance to get some rest and relax, as we will probably be sitting in a Flushing hotel. But nonetheless, it's still a day off, and our guys can get a little bit rested up, and then just to look forward here. Not too many games left till the All-Star break, so our guys will finally get our days off, and I'll be able to reset the rotation as well. So looking forward to that, but that's going to go ahead and do it for this episode of Road to the World Series. Thanks guys for watching. Be sure to follow us here on Twitch, and like I said, subscribe to us on YouTube as well. And if you guys have any comments about this video, if you like it, feel free to give it a like. If you have some sort of if you want to let us know with a comment, that's fine too on YouTube. But be sure to follow us, subscribe to us there at Life of Raw Sports Gaming Network. Every video is archived down there. So if you guys ever miss a game or a live broadcast or anything, you guys can always check it out on YouTube. It'll be right on there. In the process of getting a lot of videos uploaded there. But that's where you can find them all the way up until, I would believe, the last one I have up there is the first game. I will be, well, right now it's Detroit. Cincinnati is the last game that's up there right now. But the Cleveland and Minnesota will be added soon, and the Dodgers series as well. And then also don't forget to check out our Twitter page at LRSGN. Check out and see what's going on. I'm actually going to be going out right now, and I'm going to be pre-ordering Madden. So hope you guys start to look forward to that. I know everybody's getting excited for Madden. So that will be on here as well. We are going to have our franchise on there as well. That King Rouse is going to be the Oakland Raiders, and I am going to be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Kind of a rebuilding project in that one. But we neither one of us could decide who wanted to be the Bears, and so we just decided that neither one of us were going to be the Bears. Obviously, we're from Chicago. I'm the Cubs. He's the White Sox. So who's going to be the Bears? Nobody's going to be the Bears. So it's going to be kind of a rebuilding effort in that one. We're going to kind of run those teams however we feel or however we see fit. But those games you'll start seeing those popping up on here after Madden comes out on the 25th, I believe, of this month. We're gonna play some preseason games, kind of get a little acclimated to it. I have not played a next gen Madden game at this point, so kind of got to learn how to play it a little bit. It'll be a little bit different. Not going to be quite the same as it was on the 360 or the PS3. But you guys should be looking forward to that. Keep an eye out on our Twitter page for that. But that's going to go ahead and do it for me, guys. Thanks for watching. Like I said, let us know what you think about the commentary throughout the game in the comment section with a like or dislike, whatever. However you want to do it, that's fine. If you don't like typing or if you like bashing us, whatever. I don't care. It's not going to hurt my feelings if you don't like it. But just feel free to let us know. Thanks for watching, guys, and you guys be sure to keep it real.